What is already pretending here, back with another Honkai Star video, and now with all the fate info that was revealed, I wanted to make a video dedicated to talking about what we do know so far. So this will include a mix of both officially confirmed info with all the stuff we did actually get, with how the collab works, who's being given out for free, and all that kind of stuff, and then also a bit of info that is circulating the internet, so not actually confirmed info, but stuff that potentially is reliable. So that's all I want to say. Before I get to the video, if you guys found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new and haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn the bell for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star Wars content and guides. And let's get straight into the video. So first, obviously, talking about the two characters that are confirmed and their paths and such. So the two characters officially confirmed for the collab is Artoria, or as you guys probably know her as Saber. And then the other character is Archer Emiya, or I guess you guys would just call him Archer. It's really hard to differentiate all the stuff as a actual Fate enjoyer. There's so much, things about just calling them Saber and such. So bear with me. But Saber herself is going to be Wind Destruction, as it is confirmed that she's also going to be a 5-star as shown in her drip marketing. And as for Archer, he is also going to be a 5-star that is going to be Quantum Hunt. So this info that was circulating the internet previously did end up being correct on their path and elements. And so that does mean Emiya is the first quantum male character in the game, and the first one we get is a collab. So that's pretty interesting, but might as well. Another thing to note is Archer Emiya is going to be given out for completely free until 3.6. Or at least till 3.6 ends. So it's going to be similar to someone like Feixiao, where he has his own banner that you can pull on. But after the certain amount of time is up and then 3.6 ends, the free Archer Emiya is no longer going to be playable. So to anyone that plays the game or wants to play the game and is also a Fate fan and you have no idea on what you want to do, if you just want to do that, just be sure to make an account when the actual collab happens. Go ahead and claim them, and then you can come back whenever you want. I told people to do the same thing with Feixiao, and then a lot of people kept complaining that they don't have the Feixiao because they started after when his actual free limited time was expired. Just make an account, claim them. It might help you in the future. It could, I don't know. So, Archer Emiya is going to be free from July 11th, which I would assume is the start of 3.4. I actually don't know on the top of my head. And it's going to be free to claim until 3.6 does end. So spanning across all those versions is going to be quite a long time, as each patch is around 40-ish days. And then when it comes to the actual Saber banner, the way they worded it doesn't actually say exactly how long it will stay for. We don't know if her banner is also going to be here until the end of 3.6. I highly doubt it, because that is going to be a really long time. What we do know is it's a completely separate banner system, so it doesn't share pity with your limited banner. So for the love of God, do not build pity on any banner. It will not carry over to these. Think of it as something like Chronicle Wish in Genshin, obviously still a different banner format. The banner format is not going to share pity. You can't just summon on Anaxa now, maybe you have a guaranteed, and have like maybe 74 into pity. It's not going to apply to there, so save your pulls if you want to summon. But yeah, all they did mention is it's going to be available, the warp is going to be available for a long period of time for both the Saber and Archer Emiya banners. They did not specify how long. Like, again, we don't know if it's going to also be till the end of 3.6 with the free Archer Emiya expiring, or if by a long period of time it's just going to be maybe an extra banner half length, meaning instead of 3 weeks it becomes 6 weeks. That'd be pretty good. Lets you grind up a lot. We'll span across the whole version rather than just one half. It would be pretty sad being able to have Archer Emiya but not actually have his Lycon, because I'm going to assume they're going to have signature Lycons, as they are 5-star limited characters. There still was no word on actually what their status is going to be. Are they going to have limited Lycons, which I'm going to, like, 99% sure assume they will. But obviously we're going to have to wait till future info until that does end up coming out. And now with more or less confirmed info, so obviously info circulating the internet, so take all this part for the next bit with a grain of salt. Unfortunately, we really don't know too much on how they will work when it comes to their kit, or if they have a signature icon, what that's going to be like. If I had to guess, we'll probably get more info around the beginning of 3.3. So once Anaxa leaves and Hyacinth banner does start, I'm going to assume around then we might get more info regarding these characters, as they are relatively close to releasing. And when that does come, stay tuned to my channel. I will make videos when the info does come out. But from what we do know, unfortunately for Saber, we do have absolutely no info at all. All we really knew was her path and elements, so Wind and Destruction. We don't know if she's going to be maybe a break character. We don't know if she's going to be follow-up attack. We don't know if she's going to be dot, which I highly doubt because she's Destruction. or she's going to be a generic crit DPS. I'm going to guess a generic crit DPS with the whole thing coming from, you know, the ultimate. I honestly was more leaning to her being erudition with how her whole ultimate is going to be Excalibur, and that's probably going to be her main source of damage. So her being destruction, you know, maybe she actually does perform pretty well without her ultimate, but she could also, you know, only rely on the ultimate as well. We'll have to see. Again, when it comes to her, we practically have no info at all, but when it does come to Archer, there is something we do know, and it seems like he's actually going to have a relative sparkle coded kit, where he's going to be a DPS that seems to actually burn skill points for bigger damage. And with the way that is worded, I'm going to assume it's going to much rather prefer more front-loaded SP and ready to go. Because as we do know, IL Danheng also is super SP hungry, but Sunday still ends up performing better with all the buffs he does provide. So maybe there's a certain thing of Sparkle providing a bunch of more SP right away. I know Sunday generates more throughout the battle, but Sparkle right away generates more. Maybe Sparkle's buffs are also just better. On top of that, maybe he consumes more than 3, like maybe he consumes 6 or 7 for a big nuke. That'd be really unrealistic, but it would be pretty funny if he does end up doing something like that. Or maybe it's going to be an optional attack where you can just consume an unlimited amount, so from all the way up to 5 if you're not running Sparkle, to 7 if you are. Maybe you're going to be able to do something like that increases your damage, and just the more you do consume, the more damage you do. But, of course, we'll just have to wait longer. That's like the only bit of info, as we just have a general idea that he is going to burn skill points for bigger damage. But yeah, again, that is just info circling the internet, so take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, that is all the info we do have. So again, the official info of it being Saber and Archer for the Fate collab. Saber being Wind and Destruction, and Archer being Hunt and Quantum. While Archer is going to be given out for free, it's going to be till July 11 till the end of 3.6. So I'm going to assume that's 2 to 3 version patches. The banners are going to be completely separate from the standard pity, so do not spend any pity on a limited banner or the standard banner just to try to build pity. It's not going to work. It's going to have its complete own pity. We don't know if there's going to be 50-50 losses or anything. And the actual summon characters, so like the light cones summoning for Artoria specifically, that is said to be spanning across a longer duration. We don't know exactly how much, but it does say it's going to be for longer than normal. Another thing I did forget to mention is the entire story is going to be taking place in Penacony, as it's a Penaconian Holy Grail war, and apparently us as the Trailblazer will be the player, quote unquote. So I'm going to assume it's going to be a big Holy Grail war happening in Penacony, but we only have Saber and Archer as the characters for some reason. But yeah, so that's practically all the info we do have. It's been the official info. When it comes to the actual kits, we have no info on the light cone, nothing on Saber just yet. But with Archer, it does seem like he's going to be more of a SP hungry quantum DPS. I had to guess, once again, there's going to be more info around the 3.3 beginning, so once that does happen, and if there is more info, I will be sure to post it. So stay tuned if you are very much interested. But yeah, that practically is it. Are you guys excited for any of this info? Feel free to comment below, and I'll see you later. Peace out.